All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? So, I don't know if everybody's having this problem. I know a bunch of people are having it with the deviations not showing up. So, I'm going to have to manually mark some levels here so I know what I'm looking at. 11 to 2150. Let's see. Let's go with Dodger blue on this thing. It looks like we have a simplicity long going. 11 to 67.25. Okay. Yeah, if you were already... Yeah, it's not just you, Vegas. It's a server problem. They've been trying to work on it. If you already had your charts loaded overnight before that, then yeah, it'll still be there. So I got someone to send me over the deviations. So I'm just kind of manually marking them. 11,175. 75. There we go. It's good for now. Let's see if we like this. If it pulls back for an LRE here. Yeah, it's too tight. It's too tight. Plus, we're basically kind of at the top of this, heading towards the top of this 50 tick chart. May have a little more room to go up, but partial Lorex, flux level to the left on the 30 tick chart where we just were. We got these double clusters here, so I'm not too into that one. Let it run up a little further if it goes. Y'all see on the on my chart trader right here, I set up the my P&L in ticks. I had to open a NQ order book and just display that from there. Oh. Let's see. Attach to all charts. All right, there we go. Got the settlement right down here, 11,175.75 plus 0.25. plus 0.5. Yeah, it looks like liquidity is pretty good, actually. Well, right now, anyways. These bars have been scrolling back. A couple of low ones in there, but not too bad. We have some high impact Canadian news that typically I don't worry about Canadian news, but just keep my eye on 8:30 just in case. Yeah, this is a nice little run up that's been going on for a little while now. So what I will point out too is on this way up, about at the halfway point, we have this nice ZOI crash right here. Of course, we have this ZOI up here. But this little crash, I wouldn't be surprised since this has a pretty much like a clear top here and on the 50 tick. Wouldn't be surprised if this tried to make its way back down and test that ZOI crash there. Yeah. Got to be careful, huh? $7.32. Let me see. Back here. This one here. This one I probably would not have taken because if you look at the simplicity chart, it didn't really run too far yet. So our simplicity entry would have been here. And then an LRE is behind the entry. I don't like those. The probability is a little bit lower for it to work out. And then on the 10 tick, you had a Lorex short here that you would have been going directly against. So I would have wanted it to break this ZOI up here. See, it's a pretty strong level. ZOI, ICE, mini magnet on the 10 tick. Oh, let me, right here. You have that Lorex and then the ZOI, ICE, all this area. And you can see as it broke through, it left another ZOI there. So I would have actually liked probably, let's see. Probably this one better, even though it didn't pull back as much as I wanted it to. But there's still more up here pulling it up. But I probably would have skipped that first one. Morning. Now that the 80% off sale is over, y'all don't forget to get y'all's entry into the drawing that I'm doing tomorrow. 3 evaluations given away tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I'll go on live to do that drawing. And of course, if you can't make it on live, it'll be on replay. And if you are the winner, you'll get an email. So be on the lookout. 3 evaluations. You can choose any size account. Morning, Todd. All right, let's see what the market wants to do here. I'm going to do it at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I think we have... There's still not a crazy amount of entries. I mean, there's a good amount, considering my YouTube channel isn't very big. Let's see. It's about, I think about 140 entries, which is a good thing for everybody because, better chance of winning. $3 a.m. your time? Ooh. Where are you? What area are you in? Thanks for pointing out. Picking up. Yeah, Brandy. It's 25Ks. You can still trade fairly small, and of course, with the targets being smaller that you need, you can get payouts quicker. Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at percentages, P-Trader, but I mean, whenever, I guess in compared to what, right? Like when Apex does their giveaways, they're talking about 40,000 to like 100,000 entries. So, 140 entries, pretty good chance. No, I know you're not complaining or nothing. I'm just... Yeah, exactly. It's like a lottery with that. It's like one of those things I still tune in to check, maybe, because you're saying there's a chance, right? So it's like I tune in to check. Okay, is my name or anybody's name I know called? Yeah, there you go, Brandy. And then, just go ahead and the risk is very low picking up a 25K. It's like $30, 31, something like that. And, as long as you'll be fine. Just trade small to start off with. And you'll do great. As long as everybody knows when to stop for the day. That's like the most important thing. Risk management. If you can do that, then you can have longevity in your account. And then if you fail it over time, then there's something else going on that you can work on. All right, let's see if we get a short under this wall here. Here we go. Got a short under the wall. Simplicity short. Let's see if it wants to go anywhere for us. If this heads down, I would be looking for an LRE short because I can definitely see this coming down to that ZOI crash I mentioned, which on my simplicity chart, it's right here. When I had to rebuild my simplicity chart, I forgot to do my opacity on my ZOIs to make them thicker. So I got to go back and do that. Getting close to that 830, so maybe that's has a little something to do with this. We left a very good clue here. Look at this. On that area, left this mini magnet to push it off that flux. Love those mini magnets. So I know I mentioned like last week or so that I was going to do a video about clusters. So I have a lot of time ahead of me this week that I'm going to plan on having that video out this week and a couple other ones that may help. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, nice catch there, Dan. And that's ODD right there, too, at the top. Pull back, ODD. Left a mini magnet on that paw. 32% mini magnet on the 30 tick. I mean, good shot. This could come down. I may actually even take a LRE here off this wall if this pulls up to the wall and we get an entry here. So we're building up some HD. We are getting a little close. All right, that kind of... kind of noticed that a little too late. Go ahead and see if this goes short. Hopefully that news doesn't make it spike log. We have a cluster here. We have some HD building up. Yeah, I don't know if this news is going to make this spike long. So I hope it doesn't. May want to break even here pretty soon. Just in case. Now I'm at break even just in case. Let's see if this will keep going down for me to trail or not. Got that paw there. Hitting that paw. Give it a little bit of wiggle room to see if it can break the paw. I've locked in about 25 ticks right now, so. Come on, break this paw for me. If it breaks the paw, I'll put my stop behind the paw. There we go. And knocked me out. But that's a 30 tick paw, so I didn't want to give it too much room to come back on me. It's So that was nice, about a 35 tick winner. It was actually really nice. Yeah, that's perfect. Out at the paw, you know, I think it may continue past this paw, but it may oscillate a little bit. So threw a cluster on the 10 tick right at that paw. So I don't want to, no reason for me to stay in it. Good job for everybody else that got that. Yeah, I was a little bit late on calling that one. I looked and I said, well, maybe I will take this off the wall. And then it kind of oscillated a little bit, and I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I jumped in, and the news, I was kind of like, oh, crap, I hope this news doesn't make it spike. But that worked out great. Make sure all my accounts took it. Yep. Oh, yeah, my tick counter. Oh, 30 ticks. There we go. I already forgot about my tick counter. Yeah, so I grabbed 30 ticks on it. Nice. So that tick counter is from the NQ order book on Rhythmic. I just opened the NQ order book and was able to display it in ticks. But the only reason why it's displayed, so it's not actually displayed on my chart trader right there on the 10 tick chart. It's just my streaming software. I was able to grab that part of my screen and display it on the 10 tick there. So I wasn't able to do that permanently. Dan, yeah. Yeah, we're human. Sometimes that happens, As long as you don't lose control after that happens and spiral out of control, that's the most important thing. We make mistakes, and I can make a mistake and be fine with it as long as I keep my discipline and don't spiral out of control and do stupid things afterwards. Yeah, I hate it. Especially when you're in it and realize after, like, while you're in the trade, like, man, why did I do that? And it's in a losing position, so you can't just exit. Yeah. Well, yeah, for those of y'all that said the news scared you off, that is very valid. Very valid. I took the read. So that was a little bit of a chance on my part there. Um, the read was there, everything was there for me, but I chanced the news. Being Canadian news, I was just hoping that it wouldn't have too much of an effect. So that was kind of a bad part on me on that, but glad it worked out. Yes, P Trader, there is a template. So let me show you. Since there's no setups about to happen. If I go here to my templates and load, Apex has all these different templates for us with all types of different things. So it's literally just open up the chart with the specific settings and load the template.
go back to this one. All right, let's see. It's trying to lay this mini magnet here, which if it does, that'd be great. And this may be an ICR. If you don't know what that is, that's an institutionally controlled reversal. Lori teaches that in the sharpshooter course. It's basically where it looks like this. It pulls up. Normally, though, you would want a higher high here. But it's whenever you have a run like this, comes down, comes back up nearly to where it was, but not quite there, and lays a mini magnet. So this mini magnet may be a little bit far away for ICR. If it was a little further up, that'd be better. But in this scenario, if this bar closes down, leaving this mini magnet, and it does go on a long run short, that could be an ICR, institutionally controlled reversal. And it's on the same level this cluster is. And all the way to the left over here, there's a red institutional block. So this very well could be an institutionally controlled reversal happening. If this closes at 229.25, I would look for a short, and if it does run for quite a ways, I may mark this as a wall for an ICR. And that's where sharpshooter Lori teaches you how she makes her Lori walls. And that is one of the Lori walls, the ICRs and the third bar slings. You know, maybe the news did help that come down, because market was kind of moving a little slow, I guess. Then that short happened right at the news, and now it's kind of back to where it was. Yeah, those are both great, Dan. Yeah, depending on which part you think you need more right now. If you need more, chart info or learning, then sharpshooter. If you really think you need more on the discipline psychology part, then mind mastery. I mean, not going to go wrong either way, whichever one you do first, but yeah, so seeing this is why I recommend everybody to focus on trading in terms of ticks. You know, if you just look at 30 ticks times $5 contract, that's $150 per contract per account. You know, if you're doing multiple contracts, multiple accounts, that adds up a lot. So, and like I said, the other reason why, like on my money management video, I focus on ticks, because it looks the same no matter how many contracts I trade. You know, if you go from normally seeing $100 on your P&L or your chart while you're trading, all of a sudden you increase contracts or something, and then you see double, but now you're losing position, you might feel like you're losing so much more. So, but if you're looking at ticks, it all looks the same. I know a lot of you've heard me say that a lot before, but some may not have. So, yeah, Thrive to me, Todd, I'm with you. Thrive was the best. Number one. I tell everybody after you've mastered boot camp, it should be 100% required to take Thrive afterwards. Simplicity's getting nice and sideways on us. Chop, chop, chop right here. Here's that crash down here at about 11,218. Rejected at that Paul. That's where we took the trade. So we'll see if it comes back down there or not. If we can get this bar to close with that mini magnet. Although I wouldn't be very upset if this bar did come up a little further to this flux and then laid a mini magnet and came down. That would be better. But we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to push up a little bit here. Like I said, I wouldn't be upset if this came up closer to this flux, then laid a mini magnet here around this flux, and then came down. I would actually like that a lot. You know, either just go ahead and run long or come up and leave that mini magnet a little higher and come down. Yeah, it closed down with this cluster here at the same level as this other cluster. Same level here as this other cluster, so let's see if it'll continue down. I mean, I'm thinking it should, but let's see. It's just price action, price movement is not great right now. Volume is about where it usually is. Liquidity in the bars look pretty fine. Just not a lot of movement. Maybe the big boys are already gone for Christmas. It is Wednesday already. Yeah, I don't know, Dan. I don't know. It's not looking great. And usually they happen too because most funds, hedge funds, pension funds, all these guys want to hit bonuses and stuff before the end of the year. So they'll pump that thing up and try to get their bonuses. But I mean, maybe it's too far gone for any bonuses and they're just like, screw it. I don't know. Yeah, see this cluster on the 30 tick. If it didn't like this cluster, I would have had more confidence in it coming down. But now with this cluster here, exactly where this cluster is, it's kind of trying to have a little fight in this area. See where we're going to go. Simplicity's trying to go long here. It's going right up to test that mini magnet that it just laid on the 30 tick. I had a feeling we would get a Lorex right there. I don't know why. I just felt like a Lorex coming. Might get a TX exhaustion box of trapped orders on the 30 tick here if this closes down with a paw on that mini magnet. Now, if this bar closes down at 229.25, that could create a downward move. If this bar closes down with this exact setup. Yeah, 30 tick is looking ugly right now, but I would be looking for this bar to close down. And if it does, I would be expecting it to push off and go short if it closes down. Of course, like I said, I'd be expecting that to happen. but it may just chop. Who knows? We will see. Now we have an elevator setting up here on the on the 10 tick. Yeah. Look here too. I just realized this. This is why our trade didn't break that Paul. This mini magnet that it laid on its way down, we broke it going long. And when we broke it, it laid a Paul on that same exact level. I'm just realizing that now. So when we came down to it, I would not expect it to break, which that's exactly what happened. Oh, look, now we got a little green institutional block here, pushing right up into this top. Oh, now we might get this mini magnet where I was talking about. Look at this. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be interesting. If this bar closes down with this mini magnet creating a double mini magnet, this one is definitely close enough for an ICR. Although this little chop right here might invalidate it, but this might be interesting here. Yeah, this is definitely interesting to see what's going to happen. That's why whenever you're really reading the charts like this, in the order prints and all that, and knowing what's going on, it makes it to where you don't really get too bored sitting here. Sometimes you still do, because if there's really nothing happening, but like right now, you know, it's leaving some order prints behind and different things for me to have some ideas on what potentially could happen. Yes, if it does lay an ICR, and a valid ICR will create a long trend, and that mini magnet that makes it the ICR will become a wall. Yeah, you see that? Now, I mentioned that it's not attached to my 10 tick chart here. It's my streaming software. I was able to grab it from the NQ order book, the tick total, and just display it here. So that way we can I could show my P&L in ticks like I like to show. So 30 ticks so far. Market hasn't been great, to be honest. We had one nice short, and it was right when there was some high impact Canadian news. So I was a little nervous about the news, but it worked out. That was back here. Short here. As you can see, I hesitated, so I didn't get a great entry. But I had a very nice read. Took it down to this Paul. Bunch of us got it. Had HD on it. Basically went from cluster to cluster. All right, let's see. Let's see if Simplicity wants to go short. Let's see if we can have this mini magnet stay there on the 30 tick. That would be great. Come on down. Yeah, Todd, if you in Rhythmic, you can open, you'll see on the side it'll say order book, and then you just set it to NQ in your account, and it'll display your P&L, and you can actually select ticks. It's kind of bouncing off this green eye block now, though. Right here, came right down to that green eye block in ZOI. So this area could be a little rough again. Not expecting it to just shoot down, but if it does close down with this mini magnet, that'll be great. But it might not be pretty before it gets there. Yep, it's trying to go short. The bar is almost closing, hitting those clusters. There we go. Now it closed. I'd expect this to push short for sure. Again, that's what I would expect. Yeah, some big bars here. So I am careful, though, with these big bars. Big bars on simplicity. And again, I mentioned this ZOI crash down here earlier, 11.218. This could be what it needs to push it through to get there. But before I take an LRE or anything, I'd want it to break this paw that we couldn't break earlier. Because if not, if it pulls back, then we're just in the middle of that kind of nasty choppiness. So I definitely want this to continue short below this paw before I consider an LRE. Because it could just turn into a choppy, nasty range too. See, like I have no reason to take an LRE here on this pullback. Lots of OP it's leaving, even on the 30 tick, it's leaving some OP here, ZOIs. Right back in the middle of that choppiness on the 30 tick. No thank you. I'll wait to see if this continues to push short. Yep, middle of the range. Just always keep in mind, simplicity is a trend, right? So, and we're looking for a pullback of the trend. Right here, we're going from left to right on the chart. We could pretty much draw a box here. You too, have a great day. Thanks for joining. Yeah, and see, now we're struggling. We're struggling here, so. Now, on the flip side of this, even though I'm fully expecting this to continue short, although it is choppy, so anything can happen. If it doesn't, and this thing goes long and breaks these mini magnets, I would love for it to pull back and take a long off the mini magnets to go long. but I'm still thinking this may come down to that ZOI crash. Just doesn't look like it's going to be very pretty. All right. See if we can get down to this paw and test this paw again. 10 tick will be in a state of ODD if it gets there, so let's see if it has what it takes. Ooh, if we could leave a mini magnet right here on the 30 tick, leave a mini magnet right here and push down, that'd be beautiful. But that's just maybe me asking for too much. Yeah, see, it got really close to that paw with some ODD on it. Laying a mini magnet on the 10 tick, though, off that area. Possibly. That could push it through this paw here. Yeah, I mean, I just struggling a little bit, but I think it'll get through. And if we can get through it pretty clean, then I may look for an LRE to go short off of it. Laid a ZOI on the 30 tick exactly on that paw. So it's telling you this is a strong level right now. Mini magnet, break, paw, now ZOI on it. It's definitely an area of interest for right now. We are approaching a deviation. It's the 0.25 that I marked on there. Yeah, I copy everything over. It's just, yeah, like you said, it's a great visual. Because you see how, that paw was important earlier for our trade. So might as well have it on the chart. All right. We will have an entry here if it pulls back up to that level. So, and this is the first hit of this, recent first hit of this deviation for a little while. So if it pulls back up to this level, it very well could bounce and come back and hit this deviation again. Because typically it's not going to go down and hit the dev and then just run away from it. So you see how the LRE solid line is here at about 11,225.75, but our level is back here at about 227. If this does pull back, I won't enter right exactly here at the solid line. I'll wait to see if it pulls back to that level first. And as long as it pulls back to that level and does not really break, because you know how the solid line comes back with it sometimes. So as long as that solid line comes back with it and doesn't look like an early entry long, then I'll probably still take it off this level to go short. So, yeah, we are at the bottom of that 50 tick chart But what I'm reading here, typically, like I said, when it comes down to a deviation level like this, and it bounces and we have this level, it usually doesn't just run away from the deviation. It'll come back to it. Although we are getting a little tight and sideways on simplicity here. So if you look here. So we'll see if this does pull back. I just have to kind of see what it looks like. Or it may just blow right through and hit that crash. There it goes. Hit the crash. Which I don't know why. One of my ZOI lines, ZOI, it went away on my 50 tick. But that crash is there. Right there on the 30. Hit it. $218 was where I said it hit 2. Yep, just hit it right now. So I didn't give the opportunity for me to go to it. But now, if it blows, if it keeps going short and pulls back to that crash, maybe I'll take a short off of that. See what happens here. There we go. A little past this crash on the 30 tick, we have these clusters here, 1450 and about where we are now. So we're kind of in between there. So we may expect a little hesitation here. So we'll see. We have the ice level down here and another ZOI. So if this continues short, that'd be my next target. I would want this to break this crash, though, better before I take an LRE. Because if I take a short, if it pulls up now, it's going back through this deviation level. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather this continue short and pull back and give me an LRE short off of that crash. And then if it does break that below, then you're talking about a settlement run possibly. Yeah, the deviation levels, there's an issue with the server. So nobody, if you loaded charts this morning, if you didn't have them running already, then the deviations are not there. But I manually marked them. I had somebody send me the deviation levels. So I manually marked them. So this thick blue line right here, 221.50, that's the 0.25 dev. Yeah, it's not you. And they're aware. They're trying to fix it. So here I'm not taking this LRE, like I said, because it would be bouncing off the deviation, but it didn't go very far past that crash. So, and it laid a green eye block here. So it doesn't make me feel very comfortable that it will come down and continue short. So, and even on the 10 tick here, this crash, it's clear as day. This is copied from my 30 tick. So it's like, don't want to take the chance right there. I'd rather it to continue short. Don't want to give back right now. Yeah, I see that, Dan. Around 7:15 to 7:20 this morning. It got pretty close to settlement. Which now, hey, maybe we get a reset of simplicity at this level, this area. Right? So maybe we get a nice little reset, then another short to head down to this area, pull back somewhere, try to grab a nice little run down to this area. Maybe, if it happens. Do have... See, Simplicity is long right now. This is not one that I would be taking long right this second. Because you have that level right above. It may go up and test this level and then come back short on us. That's what I'd be expecting. 10 tick, have HD. Might have a HD TX short, maybe. But I would not be surprised if it tests that level. Come back up, test it. Then again, with that crash, I mean, it could chop around here a little bit too. Yeah, TX short with HD and OPR. That'd be a nice little scalp right there. Through the deviate, well, it's through the dev, but it was on the other side. Your entry's on the other side, so this would be a nice little. That would have been a nice little scalp, sniper scalp. Those HDs, when I was doing sniper trades, I loved HD. Was HD and ETX. Oh man, I love those. All right, we got a cluster now on that crash. We're getting close. About 10 minutes to dark zone, so I would like NQ to go ahead and flip back red, go short, get us one more nice little trade before the open. Let's see if it wants to cooperate or not. 12,227. That makes sense. That's right around where that level is. Yeah. That level is at 12,227. So it's pretty cool. All right. Come on, Simplicity. Let's break short here. We're at that cluster on the 30 tick. Let's see if we could break this and go short now. Just trying. I hate that with this deviation issue, it blocked my timer, my bar timer. I guess I can kind of see it, but it's really not good. Might be getting a short. New pair of shoes. Come on, baby. All right. Looks like we might get it. And the 30 tick is leaving a paw up there too. There we go. We got our setup bar. Let's see if we could break the low of this bar to get a short. 10 tick is in a bit of a ODD state here, but that's not one I would think would go up. You know, they've got that ZY crash, double clusters. I do not see this going up at all. So let's see if we can get a break. Okay. Simplicity wants to get a little ugly on us now. Back at that cluster. Oh. Might get a 10 tick mini magnet on that ZOI crash. That could push us down. So always look for reasons why it can go in certain directions. So if this bar can close down on the 10 tick chart with this mini magnet on this ZOI crash from the 30 and all these clusters, this thing's going to shoot down if we can get it closed down, because there's a fight going on right now. And if this bar closes down, that's when the 30 tick bar will close down too, and this thing was just going to run down if this can close down. Because that'll mean the sellers are in control here. Looks like all the orders in the cluster too from the OP chart are on the sell side. Come on down. The market could always say, hey, I hear you talking about me. I'm not going to do anything you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, who needs new shoes anyways? Just go Fred Flintstone style. All right. I'm still not changing my opinion on what I think is going to happen. Unless if this, let's see, if this breaks that level, though, that 227 level, then everything I said, just throw it out the door. Or if we get close to open, then everything, all analysis is gone. I mean, we do have that. I mean, I guess that ODD did hold up. On the 10 tick. But until this breaks, this 227, I still have my short bias. We're getting pretty close to the open, though, so. At least it doesn't start flashing, you know? Sell, sell, sell. Yeah, getting close to the open. So I'm losing faith in this going short a little bit here. It still never really tested that 227 level since it went underneath it. So it's going to test it now. Let's see what happens here. Here's a test. If it breaks it, then Let's see. Okay, what are we doing here? All right, NQ, what are we doing? You see how it's struggling a little bit. Problem is we got the open right around the corner. Even if this gets rejected there and starts heading down. Chopping at that level. So I guess that's going to be a wrap for my pre-market. So far this week's been, today was a good day, got 30 ticks. Yesterday break even, and then Monday, I think it was like 15 or 16 ticks I grabbed. So low profit days, but hey, I'll take that any day. So, and over time, so this is December equity curve. So far, first 2 days, had 2 bad days in the beginning, and then a bad day on the 8th. So, just gotta take your time and follow the rules. Yep, they definitely add up. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Look at this. It's going to go short now in the dark zone and probably right after the open. All right. Well, thanks for joining. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody, trade well. Take care.